The mic's on. And let's start. Hi guys, welcome to Adopt Nikola, the regular feature uh, of my channel. And I want to give a quick greeting and shout out to the great Grandmaster Aman Hambleton of the Chessbra. And
Hey.
hey guys, hey Aman, how are you doing?
Great, Nikola. I was telling you I'm feeling actually fresh, which is surprising considering the last couple of days of streaming, but I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I saw your stream when I got up this morning, and it was like 5 a.m. and I was like, oh, good, he is here. I'll have a modicum of more chances. So anyway, so hey, Microsoft Chess 123, and so this is the second edition of this series. In the last edition, I managed to defeat adoption twice against WGM Chiu Zhao. I think I drew the first game and then won the seventh game. I would. I don't think I'm going to be able to repeat that result this time around because Amanda is much stronger, and frankly, we played quite a few games. I was never even close to drawing a game. So today is my day to get adopted. And as a program announcement, I am thank you, Microsoft Chess. That's very greatly appreciated, and welcome, Chess with Ovid. That's very nice of you. And oh, thank you. I hope you're right. Hey, Chess Noob, thank you for joining us. So for those of you there is a $250 bounty at stake, and there is a dare, technically, if I don't get adopted, but very frankly, my chances are so slim that I don't think the dare will even come into play.
Oh, what's the dare?
The dare normally is the selection of a commentator, but today we actually do not have a commentator. So what I think we're gonna do, in a slim chance that there would be the dare comes into play, we're going to ask Eric to pick a dare. That's fair?
Okay. That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
All right. Anyway, so hey Adolf, it's very good. It's very good to see you. Yeah, there are a couple of other guys here, so thank you. I'm after the next match is actually, hey 2007 Vishnu, it's good to see you. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. The next match is going to be against WGM Dina Belenkaya, and my next stream is tomorrow. It's Nikola Best Losses, and that probably will be featured some of the games from this match.
Awesome.
No transcoding again. Okay, I am gonna see what's that happening. I'm having a trouble. Oh, and thank you for the host 2007 Vishnu. So I'm gonna have to, my OBS is acting up yet again. What else is new? All right.
What else is new?
Yes, I'm quite sure Aman, has a plenty of experience with OBS acting up.
Yes, my fair share.
Yeah. All right. So I am Alice. Aman has the floor is to Aman if he wants to say something. Oh, Vishnu, congratulations on reaching an affiliate. I remember that was very exciting. So thank you.
Awesome.
All right, you want to start? Should I challenge?
Yeah, so if you want to send the challenge, I can accept. I got a command in my chat for those who are watching. It's !Nikola, and explains a little bit about the match, as well as gives a link to his stream where he's also got his POV where he's hosting this. So that's just a reminder, !Nikola. Check out the link there. And again, it's 5+2 time control, $250 bounty, and
Yes.
just 10 games in a row requirement. So
correct.
Should be good.
Yeah, and it's one attempt, and it's 5+2. Of course, not rated. So very good. All right, very good.
All right, 1950. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, dropped it a little bit. Oh, okay.
All right. Here we go.
and I'm taking my headphones off so Aman can commentate while I'm playing.
For sure. All right. Well, guys, welcome. Good morning, everybody. We got our match here against Nikola to start things off, and people always say that these matches are easy to do, but I'm actually the type of player. I find these challenges like eternally difficult myself. I find them eternally difficult. Just the idea of not losing. I'm really bad at this kind of stuff. So let's see what we can do here. Nikola's a tough player. Played him a bunch of times on Sub Sunday. Don't know our score. I think in the end I tend to flag him a lot. However, this is not possible, or I should say, is a slim chance of it today. Time control is 5+2, so we'll see what I can do here. I'm starting out with my time on off. I'm going to go with this opening. I might switch it up during the event, right? I might try a bunch of different things. Hey guys, yeah, we did crack 8,000 subs last night, which was pretty special. F4, okay. Just gonna go A6. Expecting trash talk, guys. Let's go B5. My chess speaks for itself. That's the trash that's talking right now. 5+2 is the time control. 5+2. Okay. Let's go here. That's right, Frozen Edge. Doesn't matter how you get to 8K. We got to 8K. You know, no one is gonna know who wasn't there what the goal was for 8K. Okay, castles. These are the candidate moves that sort of pop into my head here. Knight F6, Rook C8. Obviously, Knight F6 comes with the added benefit of threatening B4. I am generally leaning towards Rook C8 and some sort of Knight A5 stuff. I think I'm just going to start with. I think I'm going to start with the Rook. But again, can't really afford a mistake in this format. So have to keep the speed up. Not because I'm really trying to flag him, but it's more so for myself that I probably want to always have like around the same amount of time or more, unless he's sacrificing a bunch of pieces, and I need to use my time to think and really make sure I'm not going to lose on the spot. Hey, good morning, double reverse. But yeah, we got a nice $250 bounty put up by Nikola for this, and only one attempt, so I just have to win 10 games in a row here. It's actually a callback to a match I played against Alexandra, which was 3+2 time control, and I had 2 attempts at that. I failed the first attempt. I think I won 6 games, then we drew 3+2 match. We drew after that, and then I did adopt in the second attempt. So because there's only one attempt in this one, it's actually still going to be, to me, this is still a challenge. Okay, E5. Taking, he's got to take back, and then I can sort of replenish the knight. That's always an option. We also have just knight E7 straight away. Can be played, but knight E7, knight E4. I'm not sure I really want to. Not sure I really want to deal with that. So I'm thinking that I'm just taking on D4 and going knight E7 myself. The only question is takes, knight E7, bishop B6. Just has to be considered because he's got some checkmate threats there. does have some checkmate threats there. Knight b5 is also after knight e7, just another reason why we don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards that. I think we'll just go for it. And like queen c6. If he takes if he plays that bishop b6 move. Takes in bishop b6, queen c6, and I will try to put the knight on either f5 or d5 here. Probably I'll go like knight here next. Knight f5. Actually, no, there's probably maybe b4 was a bit of a better move there. Bishop takes b5. I'm gonna have to play knight d5. Yeah, I'm gonna have to play knight d5 here. And I think we just do it. We just gotta go knight d5 or knight c6 here. Takes, knight d6. That's trouble. So we gotta make one of these moves probably pretty quickly to ensure that I have enough time to deal with the consequences of losing a pawn, probably even 2 pawns. Also, knight c6, bishop b6, and just calculate that one out. Should just be a loss. So I think it actually makes my life a little bit easier in that I think I have to play knight d5. Nice thing about blundering is that you have to calculate less. Knight d5, I think, is one of the only moves because bishop b6 is just so strong. Knight c6, bishop b6. So I'm gonna go knight d5. Takes, of course. Bishop takes a6. In order to keep playing, I'm gonna go rook a8 there, hit the bishop. Obviously, with a2 threatened, at least I still have some chances. And maybe I have some bishop b4 ideas right now. Maybe I have some bishop b4 ideas. Hey, Milad. Okay, bishop d3. I think that's probably one of the better moves to play. Bishop b4 comes to mind. Knight d5 I can take with a check. That's definitely one of the moves I'm thinking of. I'm probably going to go for it. Bishop b4 here. Looks like the trickiest move. That does come with a check. Hello, Tommy Shelby. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. How is this fair? Well, I have to win 10 games in a row, and as you can see, I'm struggling to even demonstrate I can do that a single time. So I think you're actually wondering, is it fair for me? That's what you're asking, right, Milad? You're just double checking it's fair for me. Appreciate you looking out for me, man. Is this an adoption match or documentary? That is a great question. I am playing like it's a documentary right now. Okay, so I can get my pawn back. I think that's quite important considering my poor start. So I'm definitely thinking that I just go ahead and grab that pawn on c3. Okay. Let's do that. So the one thing to think about is whether I take this. My instinct is certainly not. I think I just take on c3 here. If I take here, rook there, might be playable, but yeah, we're definitely, I think we're in this boat here. Rook takes c3 for sure. Okay, so rook c5 seems like the most flexible, although rook c7 defends that pawn. I feel like that could be useful. Rook c5 is the more active move, hitting that pawn and maybe supporting some sort of f6. I'm going to choose the slightly more active move, rook c5. King e7, f6. This rook swinging over to b8. I got my pawn back, which is a sort of a miracle based on my incredibly bad opening. Flag mode coming. Yeah, I am trying to get in flag mode, believe me. That is absolutely the case, but it is plus 2 seconds. So my opponent has chosen Yeah, very smart time control. Very smart time control. Should I grab this? Should I grab that? Because I'm thinking he goes bishop here next. So I'm going to sort of grab it because it imbalances things. And if he goes there, I'm thinking bishop here, here, and here. And if he takes, I sort of correct my structure. Meanwhile, I trap his rook in there. So I'm thinking of trading that off. Okay, so he's given me a pawn, if I'm not mistaken. He's definitely getting my king up. Try to get over here for a check. I got a5 against that. But even better than a5, we're going to start with a check to the king. Here, a6 drops, but I'm actually going to prefer to keep my pawn. To keep my a pawn. Let's put pressure there. c2. I do want to loosen things up. I got the +2 second increment going. Okay. I think we can. Let's take it. I think he's going to. Oh, I thought he was going to grab my a pawn. Okay. He's not grabbing the a pawn. I'm definitely feeling good about this position now. That was probably the last important moment. And from here, I think I should be able to. I think I should be able to get these pawns really going in the center here. Okay, I'm going to take it, and I assume with this pawn being
that was close.
Protected, that I'm just going to sort of safeguard that, and now I'm bring my king around this way. So the opening scare there in the first game, Nikola uncorking bishop b5. GG.
All right.
One game down.
All right. Thank you, man. That was a good game.
GG. I was saying that's pretty typical for me. That first game scare.
Yeah.
Bishop b5 was definitely a move that blindsided me.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Right. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna accept the rematch and take my headphones off. So
sounds good. All right, we got the white pieces, boys. Let's start with c4. I'm gonna get a little, just like background lounge music going on. I do want the voice to be predominant. So let me know how the music is. Just trying to get it going, like, in the background. All right. 96 g6. Yes. Okay. So I'm pretty sure Nikola is a through and through g6 King's Indian player. So we might see a bunch of these match. This match rather. You hear nothing? Oh, okay. Actually, you know why? It's because Nikola was calling out some subs, and so I wanted to make sure that the audio was off. But what I can do here, I'm just going to mute the Zoom myself, and then I can turn this on. There we go. That should work. All right, I'm going to play the same-ish to start off. I have a few different lines that I might try against the King's Indian. If we play this a lot this match. Hey, thanks Elfishy for the 100 bits and letting me know. But yeah, normally the commentary is supposedly just from my side, and he's focusing over there. So that was kind of by design, but I appreciate it. Hey, Lolly. So I'm going to play this knight e2, queen d2 stuff. And there's a couple lines here. There's this knight a5 line, and also this rook b8 stuff. Yeah, okay, so Nikola goes knight a5. So normally what I do is I go b3, and after b5, which is normal for black, Black has this trick, which is, you know, if knight g3 or I don't know, some other move, knight takes b3 is kind of a cold shower here. So the move that white does is usually rook c1, gets out of the way of this trick, and prepares to use the c file. Of course, this pawn's also hanging here. Hey, Budao, thanks, man, for the support. b4. So knight d1 hits the pawn here. I'm thinking knight d1 is the move I want to go for. I always got rook c2 to defend a2. So yes, you guys are right. It's definitely a weakness, but this knight can reach d3, put pressure there. Meanwhile, I can either fianchetto my bishop or find a way to just play bishop e2. So I do have a bit of a funny looking position here, but he's also got an offside knight that doesn't really have anything to do after his pawn on b3. We've got the pawn on b4. Pawn on b4 is attacked here. I'm sort of expecting rook there, simply because I don't see a better way to defend that. Maybe he can sacrifice it, I should say. That's probably another thing, but I'm not too familiar with this line in that sense.
Really forgetting the line.
White king looking comfy. I'm feeling pretty comfy here. The nice thing, again, like I said, it's rook c2, and it's just a permanent way to defend that, because it takes him really like a long time to get like all three of his major pieces to the a file. Okay. So bishop a6. Queen takes b4. Bishop takes e2, or I should say queen b4. It doesn't actually make a threat on my part. I would assume after queen here that black is going to go something like c5, you know, just mess the game up entirely. That feels pretty par for the course. And then the question is, do I want to play that open position? Do I want to play that open position? Because my other option is probably a move like knight f2 or a move like knight g3. Look to take back, go king f2, and slowly bring the pieces over. Queen b4. I'm assuming c5 gets played.
That's fine.
So I'm going to take the approach of absolute greed, and I'm just going to take this pawn and see what happens. So I will take on b4. Looking to maybe return to queen d2, still have my rook c2 move. Like I said, I'm not really threatening queen takes a5 because he has bishop takes e2, just kind of an important detail. Okay, knight b7. Well, now you guys can see he's really threatening c5, supported by the knight. Also, bishop takes e2 now wins that pawn on a2. Or I should say, it's attacked. I still have my queen hitting the knight, so it's not quite so clear, but my first instinct here is definitely queen back to d2. So I'm just gonna follow that. Bring my queen back to safety, guard this pawn in case of that. And if he plays c5, I'm thinking that I go d5 and try to keep things relatively closed. Hey, Carlson the Great, good morning. Yeah, we got a adoption match against Nikola here. Exclamation mark Nikola, guys. Be sure to use that command. He's streaming his perspective, and he puts these matches on, I think, nearly on a weekly basis against a number of other streamers or personalities. They all try to adopt Nikola on his channel. So he decided to give me a go at it. 5+2 is the time control, so hopefully the games are a little bit more instructive than the usual nonsense we get up to. Let's go d5, try to keep it relatively closed here, because again, my king is still in the middle of the board. I'm up a pawn, but the king is in the middle of the board. So 5+2, I got to win 10 games in a row. As you can see, it's 1-0. We just got started here. So he's going to be eyeballing at d3 square. I always have it under control, so to speak, with the moves knight f2 or knight b2. But this exchange of bishops is absolutely something I want to clarify. So I'm thinking that I'm going to move this knight here. Definitely offer the exchange of bishops. See what he wants to do about that. But now his knight e5 move is comes with a lot less sting. I can take castle, and there's no like knight d3 stuff. So. Okay, so pretty normal reaction after the move c4. Number one, I mean, I can take that, right? So that should be the first thing that everyone considers. But the move b4, just structurally, is yeah, probably the biggest reason why I think c4 is not an accurate move here. So we're going to play b4. I'm threatening b5 to actually trap his bishop here. And that should stop him from even getting knight e5. Now, even if knight e5 happened, I can cover that square, as I said, with those moves. Yeah, okay, he plays it anyway. I think we just trap the bishop here, and that should be enough. But yeah, as I said, the knight e5 move, even if I defend it like that, would yeah, be taking care of the d3 square, and then I'm just pushing these two pawns over here. But obviously, I will take that bishop. I'll take that bishop if he offers it. But b4 is a pretty strong move. It takes away these squares for the knight, and you can see that knight on b7 is just not happy. So e5 should pick that up. Knight c5 as a means to try to access d3 and sack the bishop and say you get knight d3 check. I will just take that on c5, and then I can take the bishop, so he doesn't even get in on d3 there. Yeah, so again, knight f2, knight b2, or even just taking, they're all decent moves, but just to secure that winning that piece, I'm going to go bishop takes c5 here. And then looking to pick up that bishop. Okay, so since he goes like this, bad I think would be for me to take that, and he gets this. So I think that I'm going to take advantage of the fact that he let me keep my bishop, and I'm just going to bring this bishop back. Keep my dark square bishop, very valuable piece in this opening. And his bishop's under attack. And then my next move is just bishop e2, castle. And if he sticks a knight there, I will just have to take it. The other option, of course, is like knight f2, just to overprotect that square and say that absolutely nothing's going wrong. But sort of like how these knights are defending one another there from d1 and c3. Okay, bishop a4. Speaking of defending each other, it's looking to maybe undermine things. Obviously, I can take that, but I don't see any rush. I'm up a piece. I should just be focusing on the most important thing in my position, which is getting castled. I'm going to take with a knight here and play my move rook c2 to defend that pawn if I need to.
Right.
And I wanted to keep the rook on the c file rather than play rook d1, because I'll just be hitting the c4 pawn there.
Thank you, man. Good game.
Good game. Good game.
So, all right.
I was saying the c4 b4 move was probably where it works out really well for me. But I was actually expecting you to maybe sack the pawn, something like c5 instead of knight b7. Yeah. And then going for c5, maybe just go all in.
Yeah, I dropped the ball somewhere. Okay, but thank you for the game and the analysis. Next game?
Yep, let's go.
Yep.
All right. I have something to prove here, guys. I have something to prove here. My last game in this variation was atrocious. So I am going to play c5 once more. Let's see if we can at least improve that terrible showing from the first time. And if I survive this game and it's still a bad opening, I think I'll probably switch the opening. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's give this another shot. Obviously, he's gonna be playing pretty quick here. Because well, it worked last time. That's the thing. It worked last time. So he shouldn't really have to think too much, because normally if you do something and it works, you want to repeat it, and it's up to your opponent to show they've improved something. So I'm here. I messed up my first attempt, and now Nikola is the one changing his move with bishop e2. That's what I like to see. That is what I like to see. Don't play the same variation, because I didn't have any clue how to improve it. So this is actually a great sign. This is a great sign. Okay. So I can play a6, although I might be down a tempo in some main line after knight takes c6. Queen c7, also possible. Knight f6, I imagine, will be met by knight c3. So I am just going to go for a6. I think I've played Nikola a couple games, and he does tend to play this knight takes c6 thing. I don't know if he's going to go for it here, but in my experience playing Nikola, I think he goes for those positions. Okay, since he castled, I'm thinking we go queen c7. We might end up playing a Maroczy position here, but I'm sort of allowing that with the way that I'm playing. Hey, Chess Medic. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Doing an adoption match here to start things off for today. C4. So as I said, I'm sort of allowing this Maroczy bind position, which I would definitely say is not the greatest. Not the greatest to allow. So let's start with knight f6. Let's just hit that pawn. Knight c3. I might throw in bishop to c5. Knight b3, bishop back to e7. The other thing I want to do is probably fianchetto my bishop here. Okay, so I think I will go for bishop c5. I've got a few options here in the opening, but we'll just go for bishop c5. And if we ever get this type of thing again, I can always play it in a different way, like a little bit more like a hedgehog style. We'll see what he does here. I would say this is definitely probably the best move. It's easy to second guess yourself and not play this move, because it seems like you're walking into some sort of pin. Maybe that's what maybe that's what happened to him here. I'm not sure, but I would say the bishop e3 in that position would be definitely the number one move. Okay, he took. I think every capture here is reasonable, probably the queen the least so. B takes with e5, or d takes with e5 as well. Those seem like the ones. I'm actually just going to go d takes here and look to go e5. The b takes would be a little more imbalanced, but I think that d takes is the objective best move. So I'm trying to play e5, bishop to e6, get control of the d file. I feel like my bishop's on a fantastic diagonal here as well. Yeah, and the bishop's on, as I said, such a good diagonal. It's actually pinning that pawn. He wants to play the move f4. That's why he's played king h1. That makes a lot of sense. E5 here appears to be the move. I'm just going to go for it. There is going to be, very reasonable and understandable counterplay with f4. So either I go bishop to e6 in that position, look to bring the rook over ASAP, or I get maybe a little greedy and move my bishop to one of those squares and hope to take back on e5 with the bishop. but I am expecting f4. I feel like if he doesn't play f4, then the move king h1 is not entirely justified. Okay, queen c2. Not a bad move by any stretch. Certainly the square I would say the queen wants to go to if I ever attacked it, but in terms of the order of operations, I would still say f4. That yeah, f4 should have happened there, I think. Okay, bishop e6 is absolutely my sort of number one candidate move here. Only other funky things I'm thinking about involve like h5 and knight there, so I'm gonna spare you guys those crazy calculations, and let's just play bishop e6. I think it is the sort of simpler, better move. Now a3 is not extremely intimidating. Number one, I think a5 should certainly be an instinct here. Stop b4 altogether. Number two, if b4, I have bishop d4. That's a great diagonal and a great square on d4. So I'm not sure if I should just allow it, get castled, go bishop d4, or play a5 myself. I think we are going to lean a little more towards the a5 move for now. Stop it, and I still have the d4 square available if I want to go for that. Let's go a5. Hey, Peño. Yeah, bishop g5 is a good-looking move. I'm probably going to... well, I have a big choice here, actually. But I think I'm actually going to go h6. I'm going to offer these doubled pawns to my opponent because I guess in return, I do get full control of the dark squares. So we'll see if he's interested in that exchange. If he goes bishop to h4, then at least the move f4 is a little harder to get, I'd like to think. But it's also possible I should just defend this knight now. Something like bishop e7 and just get castle, just kind of play a normal game here. I definitely like my pawn on c6, restricting the c3 knight. I am feeling like bishop e7 should be the move here because I want to castle, but if I castle, then he takes. And I'd rather actually him take now, put my king on e7. Like it's quite nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, actually. Let's put the bishop on e7. It's a great diagonal to be on, but at the end of the day, I am trying to get castled. I could have also moved the knight d7, but I decided to go a little more sturdy, solid here. But I certainly think that knight d7 would be a reasonable move. Sometimes it's just annoying, though, that bishop on h4 controlling d8 in a position where my bishop's on c5 and I play knight d7. It's like I can never use the d file, it feels like. With that bishop covering d8, it's quite annoying. Quite annoying. Game 3, yeah, we have a 2-0 score right now. This is the third game. We have 35 seconds, so I'm going to try to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's bring the knight back immediately. Have to watch out for stuff like this. This is already sort of on the cards, so to speak. Let's take that. Let's play bishop d6, and I am trying to play on the light squares, or dark squares rather, in this position. If you win knight d5 in the last turn, I could take, and bishop takes d5 because there's a pin on the c file. That's why that didn't quite work. But I just meant that it was a type of idea you have to look out for because my bishop can be trapped there with some pawns. Okay, so gotta find a square for my queen here. I think I'm gonna use the e5 square for now. Ideally, I want to put my knight there. Don't get me wrong, but I think just in order to facilitate me getting castled here, I'm just going to occupy with my queen. Make sure he doesn't get ideas like sacking it and getting that knight into into e4. I don't want any of those shenanigans. Something like castling, knight f6, rook d8, all look pretty good. And I'm just trying to stay on these dark squares. And you see my bishop keeps his rooks out, and my pawn keeps his knight out. So I feel that these two pieces do an extremely good job as denying him counterplay, especially on the 5th rank. Okay, let's get castled. I think it's pretty important that I do that. Don't know if there was any, taking of any pawns, but we're not even going to think about that. It's not even on my radar at all. Let's not be greedy. What I want to do now is just focus on using those dark squares that I have and applying the pressure. Don't need to be greedy with taking pawns. So again, this might not be necessary, but I'm just going to play king h8. I feel that I have time to do that. He goes for this. I think that this is a pawn for me, so I'm going to go ahead and take it now. Hitting his rook as well. And probably knight f6. Right. Yeah, so he actually went for a good plan there.
All right, so let me just... Thanks, Aman.
Yeah, good game. I was saying at the end, I think your bishop g4 plan is actually really good. Like, to get rid of my bishop, just unfortunately drops a pawn at the end, but it was the right idea.
Okay, thank you. And I got asked about my my plans. I'm going to post what I can in chat. I need to do a little bit better time management, and obviously, this is in a quiet game like this, a man is always 100% going to outplay me. So anyway, well, he's 100% going to outplay me in any game. All right, thank you, and thank you guys.
Except the first one.
Yeah, well, the first one, I wish I had another 10 minutes on the clock, but...
Exactly. And I was very happy you didn't.
Okay. Thanks, Lally. I genuinely hope so. All right. So, rematch?
Yep, I'm ready.
Let's see. It's not prompting me to rematch. Ah, thank you. I got it. Taking the headphones off.
All right. We'll start with d4 this time. Might not matter. As I said, he's a King's Indian player. But if we do get another King's Indian, I think I will change the lineup. Go for something else. It's 3-0 right now. I'm going for 10. We're in game 4. Welcome if you guys just joined. Kiblets. Every time Nikola hops back in the call, sounds like he's saying goodbye. Yes. It does. I know what you mean. Let's go e4. And so my other line that I want to try is this bishop d3 move instead of f3. But he might do something different as well. He's been switching things up too. But I think for the King's Indian is pretty. At least it's fairly standard. Yeah. So I'm going to try this bishop d3 line. It's actually an older variation. I have to be honest, it's one of my favorite lines. Probably even more so than f3 right now. Although most of my career in chess, I probably played f3. The idea with this bishop d3 is that you get the bishop out early, then you go knight g to e2. Usually you go h3, knight e2, bishop e3, castles, queen d2. And I'm drawing all these arrows saying all these moves because honestly, you can pretty much do them against anything your opponent does. It does not matter. It does not matter. Hey, Sandeha, good morning, man. So knight e2. If knight c5, I'm just going to drop the bishop to c2. It's a great square for the bishop in case I ever need to do something like this. It also covers the a4 square. You might think, why is that relevant? But if I go a3 and he goes a4 to sort of fix my pawns, I've actually got that covered. So it can be very useful. In any case, bishop e3 I'm going to follow up with, like I said. We're going to get castled here. And the reason that I like this opening so much as well is that if Black ever goes for his trademark plan of f5, which I'm sure we'll see momentarily in this game, knight e7, knight e8, knight h5, followed by f5, then you always take it, in this line at least, and then you always follow up with f4 if he takes back. So it's just a line I think that's very easy to play. I think it's very easy to play. Okay, and then bishop a6. I think we can get the move b3 in very comfortably. Defend that pawn. Also, a3, b4 is now a much more serious idea because let's say there's no a4. There's no concern about a4 anymore. Knight h5. Okay, there's the move. I have a few options. I can go for this right away. A3, b4. I can also go for queen d2. I think I am going to probably pick queen d2 here. And as I mentioned, the idea with f5 is that I can sort of take and just immediately go f4. Hello, Lethbridge Chess. Omid as well. Nice to see the boys in the chat. So we're starting off our Sunday with a match against Nikola, seeing if we can adopt him 10 wins in a row. After that, we have a sub battle against Blitzstream. And then after that, we got sub Sunday as usual, some games. So let's go f4. This is kind of the idea. Probably I had some other very decent options there, maybe involving g4. But the idea is to play f4. Okay, he pushes e4. Now I have a couple plays here. Number one, g4 can sometimes be very good, just like right off the bat. Crazy aggressive move. But I have a feeling that could be a little bit too aggressive. I'm just trying to weigh the options right now. The other main idea is like bishop d4, trade that off, and reroute this knight to e3. That's probably I would say the main idea. Bishop d4 and knight e3. And then slowly expand over here and maybe g4 as well. So g4, is it insane? Looks a little insane, you know. Looks like a little bit too much. So I'm going to stick with this plan. Bishop d4, knight d1, knight e3. This bishop, as you guys may have been able to tell after the move e4, is extremely strong. So I'm looking to trade it off, reroute the knight d1, knight e3, which I think is a very powerful maneuver. Knight on e3 hits the pawn on f5. It also blockades the e pawn. So yeah, let's put the knight there. And after we get the knight there, you'll notice something else it does is it guards c4, which helps me push a3, b4 without this pawn hanging in a lot of lines. So knight e3 is just like an incredibly nice multi-purpose move. Feels really good to put the knight there. Okay, queen h4. So obviously I'm pretty satisfied just because his last move was queen e7 and now he played queen h4. That has to be good for me. You know, like there's no way doing the double step there can be good for black. It's got to be a waste of tempo. I'm getting my knight to e3 the way I want. So I'm definitely thinking just knight e3, trying to evaluate if there's any reason why I should wait with that. And I'm not seeing anything, so I'm just sort of going to yeah, go with the easy move, knight e3. Bishop on like I would say the setup for black that he probably wants is like rook there, bishop c8, rook e8, bishop c8. Because I really don't like the bishop there on a6 for him. rook f7 makes some sense. So the thing about rook f7 that I maybe don't like is that it looks like he wants to take here, but after knight takes f5, I think he's losing material. So if he can't take back with the rook there, then I'm very interested in taking this bishop because yeah, if you can't take back with the rook, then I feel like rook f7 is a little misplaced or a little slow. So knight takes, then I'll probably go like knight into d4, put pressure, more pressure on this f pawn. More pressure on this f pawn. Okay, king takes. Definitely thinking that knight d4 should be played here. f5 pawn is quite tender. Queen c3 is another move, just to get a check in. I can basically follow up with knight d4 as well in that line. I am thinking though that it's a little more important to do knight d4 first. So obviously that is a huge threat. Knight takes f5. He's maybe going to go like rook f8 or, well, maybe. I don't think there is another move actually. Has to go rook f8. I guess you can go bishop c8, but it always feels terrible to play this move when your rook's still in a8. You'd love to have the rook over here and then play bishop c8. The rook was already over on f8 or g8. So I think he does have to go rook here. And I think he will definitely play that. I'm very happy with my knights though. Okay, so he's done a move that that I mentioned. He's not happy to do it. I'm sure he knows as well as anyone that he wants the rook there, but he simply couldn't find a way to make it work. So play bishop c8. Definitely good for me though. Can I take advantage of the fact that rook can't jump over there straight away? Let's see. a3 b4 definitely definitely on offer here. I have to watch out for my f pawn a little bit. Right now I might be able to leave it hanging, so to speak, because of tactical reasons. I am also sort of considering the move bishop d1, but knight g3 is seems like a strong enough reply by him. So I'm gonna go queen f2. Basically, if I get rid of the queen there, I'll be looking to play g4 next. He might go knight to g3, but if he does that, I mean, one thing I can try is just knight e2. Okay, he goes queen back. Very interested in getting move g4 in here. For now, I have to defend this knight or do something with it. I'm going to choose to go. We go for this. Just knight d3. Just knight d3 an issue. No, what am I saying? It's not even hanging. What am I even talking about? I can probably even do something like that. So knight d3 is definitely not an issue. I still think it's probably good to go here, but yeah, let's just go rook d1. Not even hanging because of knight f5. I am going to get my rook over there. Let's get my king over to h2, guarding that square. And I think I'm very interested in that move. I'm going to start with g3, rook g1 next. Looking to play g4. Let's bring the knight. And I'm basically saying that if and when that move does happen, g4, that it's going to be pretty good for me. Okay, I'm still covering this. Tricky. I had my rook on d3 there. Probably just forgot about that. GG. It actually it really turned around for you there, move by move. Like it was actually probably a good start for me. And then I think as the time was getting lower, your position was getting better and better. And I was actually really happy the game ended when it did, which was quite fortunate for me at the end there. But yeah, I think it was trending much better for you than at the start. Your pieces like all coordinated. Got your rook over there, bishop d7. Everything looked pretty good. Knight d3 was maybe a little hasty though.
For the hey guys, you can hear me now. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just realized that you know it's
The classic mic muted.
calculates my muting thing. So thank you. Anyway, all right. So
we can always switch the we can always switch so like that I'm muted in Zoom and then we have your thoughts instead. We can always do that.
Sure.
For your streaming.
Okay, we can do that. I think it's probably more. I mean, let me put it this way: you probably have more bandwidth to commentate than I do, and your commentary is better than mine. So anyway, all right, let's play. Let's do a next game.
Yeah, do you want to just leave it the way we're doing it right now?
Yeah, let's leave it the way
okay.
Now. That's perfectly fine. All right.
Okay.
And hi guys, hi Anamaya. Hey, thank you, Screws, for the gifted subs. And you know, playing against the Grandmaster is tough. What can I tell you? All right, bye guys. I'll be. So, all right.
All right. Let's get the rematch in. Hello, Mannered Monkey. Hello, Mannered Monkey. Okay, in the interest of playing a couple different openings, let's try the French. Let's try the French.
Okay.
Bishop b4, so the win hour. Ah, he plays the exchange. All right. The exchange. Let's go knight c6. Probably knight e7. I think a3 is the move here. Knight e2, I'll go knight e7. I'm copying him. I'm copying him. I think that bishop f5 is reasonable here. It's not crazy, right? Looking to get rid of his light square bishop. Can't he just watch my stream and see what I'm thinking? Mighty LM. I mean, yes, you're correct, but I think you're kind of missing the point of the match. I mean, he put up $250 for me if I can win 10 games in a row, and he kind of does these matches regularly. So I don't think it's really how he wants to do. You know, he's gonna win his own money back. He's gonna protect his 250 coming over the Chess Bra channel. Hey, what's that Hambo guy up to? No, he's well, as he demonstrated in the first game, he doesn't even need to do that. he pretty much can get me on his own. Let's go queen d7. Exactly. Nikola's classy, guys. Something that people in this chat just don't understand. Kappa. Knight g3. So I'm definitely thinking about bishop takes there. On d3, bishop e6, bishop g6 are all yeah. There's so many moves. That's the problem. I hate these positions. What you know, I like when they play a3. You know, because then it's like my bishop's attacked. Probably only got a couple moves. This is like, man, the choice is too much. I think I definitely want to avoid bishop e6, bishop g4. I want to either trade his bishop or play bishop g6 and plan to trade it later. I'm going to opt for, I think, bishop g6. Yeah, we'll just try to stay solid here. Hey, Orpheus. Yeah, me too, man. Me too. So yeah, if he goes c3 ever, I do have this bishop dropping back to d6. And I guess in the interest of getting some play going on both sides of the board, I think I'm going to throw the H pawn up there at some point. First of all, I'm actually just going to bring my bishop back voluntarily. No point in having it sit there. I think he's going to play the move c3, and we're going to transpose as if he had played c3, and I move my bishop back. And then I'm going to go here, h5, h4. Bishop there. So it did cross my mind that, you know, there might be some ideas with knight takes d4, but looks all too messy. Looks all too messy. Knight takes d4, knight g6. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna let him take that one. Kingside castle, queenside castle. Both look decent right now. I think we just go here. Looks a little more imbalanced. I have to be a little careful of my diagonal here. Sometimes, well, crazier things have happened. But for example, knight takes g6, knight takes g6 by me, catastrophic blunder. Bishop f5 would win material. So obviously we are planning h takes. c3 makes a lot of sense. King b8 is definitely a move that comes to mind here. Also knight f5. I'm definitely thinking of that knight f5 move. Okay, well, I think I am going to play my move king b8. Although actually knight f5 does look fairly tempting here, eh? Does look fairly tempting. Okay, let's go knight f5. He takes, we want to take back, and then take again on f5. If he takes here, I'm assuming that bishop takes g3, you know, hitting the knight, some combo of moves works there. And knight f5, I think, gets me the types of exchanges that I'm looking for. Okay, he goes b4. So I'm thinking that he just doesn't have enough pieces left. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this, and I'm gonna take the bishop on d3, and I'm gonna try to say, let's go here. Try to say that I'm basically playing knight against bishop. I'll just play h6. I have a feeling that queen takes h7. If I play rook e8, is actually playable, possible. Yeah, he's launching the full attack there, which makes a lot of sense. We want to just get the knight out of the way. Let's do that. Set up maybe queen f5 and reroute this knight over to g6. Feels like the knight is just sort of in the firing range there. Let's bring this rook over to e8, queen f5, knight g6. e5 looks like a good move. Let's just bring bring the rook to the middle first. It's just pushing everything. Makes a lot of sense though. Let's start by hitting that bishop. See where he wants to put it. So one thing which is maybe unfortunate is after this move I was actually planning that, but there is bishop f6, which sort of traps my rook, which is a little unfortunate. A little unfortunate there. Let's go knight g6. Hit that bishop of his. He's got very scary pawn moves, right? I mean, the attack is happening here. Well, let's go for it. Knight takes e5. I'm relying on here. And it's possible maybe I could have taken that. I'm gonna move the king. I think it's the safer move. When you're low on time, you gotta move the king. Taking the rook probably didn't work. Yeah, queen a6 is just simple and good. Let's get the queen over to c6 here and see if we can run. Probably queen e4 next.
Oh.
Get those queens the hell off the board, eh, guys? Let's get them off the board. Rook e5. Try to take d5. Rook a5. Let's take this guy. Bring the king back to c6. Try to pick up this pawn. And although we're dropping pawns on the other side of the board with my passed b pawn, I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but we just gotta push her now. That's all we can do. Just push. Push as fast as we can. Yeah, I'm just basically gonna forego my entire other side of the board here. Let's keep pushing. b3, b2. As long as I have the rook behind the pawn, which I've managed to do here, these rook endgames sometimes play themselves. It's a little fortunate that that's the case for me. We have a nice little checkmate idea here, which
fuck me.
my life a little bit easier than it would have been usually. King d2, king c2 I would have normally done, but rook c8 is just sort of a cherry on top for me. And I'll just play rook c1 next move. King d2, king c2 is probably winning, but yeah, this makes things easier. And this pawn is actually a hero. Like, had that pawn been on any other, I don't know, F or H or something, like these pawns would push a lot easier. But as you can see, the G pawn actually kind of acts as a bayonet. It kind of stops all the pawns from moving. So it's a hero. Let's give a check here, and these split pawns never work out well. Just go, yeah. You know, the way that the thing popped up, it was a stalemate for a half second.
Thanks, Aman.
GG.
That was close.
Well, close is a word we could use. Scary is another one. I was pretty much getting made it there on the run. I think I was very fortunate to see the move Queen E1. Even though I was down a pawn there afterwards, I was getting the queens off the board was probably the best part of that game for me.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Let's. Oh, and am I still muted? No, I'm not. All right, guys. Thank you. That was close. Let's play the next game.
Let's go.
All right.
As you can see, guys, it's very close. Very close. Not stress-free at all. C4, knight f6. So let's keep going for these king's Indians. Hey, Eddie Barber. Good morning. I'll play f3 again. Go back to that very first one I played. He scattered. There's no odds? No. Well, I have to win 10 games in a row. That's the thing. And it's just a 5+2 game. But there's been two, extremely serious scares. And I don't mean that he's come close to being winning and, I've managed a way out. I mean that he has been winning and I've managed a way out. So definitely a very close one. Let's go knight e2. So I will repeat this line. Thought it went well. Let's go b3. b4, knight d1 again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, c6. He plays a little bit more of a reasonable move in a sense that it's more solid. He's not going b4. He's not putting that pawn on a square where it can be taken. He doesn't really have any clear weaknesses. Now I have to worry about this bishop. How do I get it developed? I mentioned last game that we played this that for me it is g3, bishop g2, or I have to move this knight and play bishop e2. So I'm just kind of debating that right now. I think I'll go g3. Both moves looks okay. I'll go g3, bishop g2. Knight f4 also looks like an option here. c5 though is a pawn. b4, I move the knight to d1 to f2. And d5, I play e5. So at the moment, I'm feeling that there's not a big threat. But as I say that, bishop takes b3 is kind of like, kind of feels like a threat to me. You know what I mean? That feels like a threat in the sense that he gets two pawns. The position is very imbalanced then. I imagine it's probably still pretty good for white, but I'm not sure I want to allow that imbalance. So I'm going to play the move rook c2. Getting off this this forking square b3. And so getting ready to go bishop g2 and castle. Yeah, it's an adoption match, Eddie. Exclamation mark Nikola though should pretty much explain everything, as well as give you a link to his channel where you should go over and follow so you can see more of these matches and whatever he's up to over there. He goes for it. Okay, that is a big move. That is a big move. I have to be honest that I can't possibly believe it, but I got a lot of respect for it, especially because it might still work. Okay, so we got to take it, right? It's just forced. Okay, so number one, queen there, rook there, knight b1 is, it does hold things together, puts me in a pin. But the other thing is queen d3, I'm thinking makes more sense as my move. So I'm thinking just queen d3, put my king there, bishop there. He's got to have, he's got to break the position somehow. So I guess I was right that he was definitely planning to sack. Now imagine if he was planning to sack here where he doesn't even win my rook, he would have taken that even quicker if I had left my rook on c1. So I'm very happy I played the move rook c2 in hindsight. Very happy. Okay, it goes b4. We're hitting the quote unquote hitting the knight there with the queen is just a little X-ray. Knight d1, knight b1 are my two moves. If I want to move the knight, I could also maybe do some other weird rook b2 move. But the thing is, he wants to play rook a3 afterwards. I'm pretty sure. So knight d1, rook a3. And for that reason, I'm thinking of the move knight to b1 as the better of the two. Crazy enough, I am actually looking at the move rook to b2. I know it's quite a nonsensical looking move. Rook b2, rook a3, and then knight b1. But yeah, that's a bit insane. He has too many good discoveries. So let's just play our knight to b1 move. I just want to stop rook a3. It looks like a annoying enough threat. If rook a1, I have rook b2, which hits his knight. Well, sorry, I don't even have to play rook b2. What am I saying? Hitting the knight there. So rook a1's not an option. And I stop rook a3. So I think he's got to move the knight back to a5 here. He could go to a1, but I I don't think that knight a1 is the best placed piece. However, it keeps the fire burning. Keeps the fire burning, so to speak. Rook b2, b3, and he wants to get back out to c2. I think I might be greedy here and take this pawn. Yeah, we're going to be super greedy. Take that pawn, looking to get my pieces out of the way. I am up a piece here as a result of his sacrificial endeavors down there. I am definitely expecting this, 100%. Okay, that was a little surprising. Queen a5. I think we move the king. Yeah, I think we just go king f2 here. And I just want to move the bishop, get the rook over ASAP. Bishop h3, there's even some logic covering the c8 square. But if I'm not seeing this, then I'm a little concerned for that knight on a1. So I'm definitely expecting to move b3 at some point. I think it has to happen soon. Bishop g2. Yeah, other than this move, b3, I'm actually not concerned by too many of these other options. If he goes d5, I just play e5. If he goes e5, I think I just play d5. So sort of keeping it closed no matter what option he goes for. I mean, this move is an option. It's just that I think the knight still can't reach c2, and knight b3 is not particularly dangerous. Yep, bishop g2. So we're counting on. Okay, so he does go for that move. I noticed this is an option near the end of my calculations there. But as I mentioned, knight c2 is not a threat. Knight b3 doesn't seem to have a next move in mind. So I am going to just develop. And this knight on b1 covering rook a3, I swear, it's like extremely useful. Might not look like it, but that is rook a3 is a very annoying resource to deal with. So I'm actually really happy with my knight on b1. Rook there. I can also think about moves that try to trade queens now as well. Queen c4, queen d2. Yeah, this extra piece is really helping here. Oh no, is he just going to lose on time? That's too bad. Too bad. However, I think I secured the piece there.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So
No worries. I was saying I was pretty happy you ran out of time rather than seeing that continue. Although I was definitely on the brighter side of things.
yeah,
In
I
that
think I
game.
disconnected at some point, and my
I saw
quad.
that you disconnected and came back. I
Yeah.
saw a few
All right,
games.
that doesn't matter. I was in. That was pushing it a little bit. So thanks.
I actually noticed your bishop sack, thank goodness, when my rook was on c1. And then I was like, oh, I'll play rook c2, stop it. And then you took it. And I realized if you were planning to take it, regardless of winning my exchange, then I really would have been in trouble if I didn't notice it. So
Yeah, no worries. Thanks, Aman. All right, so
right.
let's do a quick. Actually, do you mind if we, since this is about halfway, if we did a very quick break?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Mm. All right, let's. Okay.
All right, good.
You're ready. Well,
Okay.
you stream for 16 hours a day, so I don't know how you do it, to be honest with you.
Well, it helps that it doesn't always feel like work. It's quite enjoyable as well. So.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so I'm sending you the rematch.
Okay, let's go. All right. Let's get a bit of music on here.
Oh, I need to take my headphones.
I'm gonna go. What happened? We played the French last time. Didn't really turn out so well. My openings with black leave a lot to be desired. Yeah, I don't know. Let's play the Caro-Kann. Let's try a few different openings here. Caro-Kann. Let's go for this one. can't remember which line he plays. Okay, e5. e5. Actually, yeah, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he goes for this bishop g5, bishop d3 stuff. Yeah, I think this is the case. Bishop d3 takes e6. I'm pretty much not going to bother trying to explain the whole queen takes b2 stuff and why it's not good for black, but it is theory, and it's known to be fairly dangerous to take that. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to go e6 before he actually plays the move e6 against me. If he gets it in, you know, queen g6 with a knight coming can be very very dangerous. Okay, knight d2. Let's go knight d7. Something like knight e7, knight f5. I have to be honest, I actually really I think this is a good line for white, and it can put a lot of pressure on black here. It can be very uncomfortable. When do you play h5 or h6 against the Caro-Kann? Yeah, I agree. It is a struggle determining between the two. All I know is that h5, like, first of all, Caro-Kann is not really my opening, I have to say. So I definitely don't think I should be giving out too much advice here. But I just know that h5 is definitely theory in this line. But yeah, it's something that's often very specific to each line, the reason for doing so. So it's not something you can use a blanket rule for, like, oh, I always do it in this case and I always do it in that case. It's like, it is a little bit difficult to tell. Okay, I can't take the pawn, obviously, on c4 because knight takes and he jumps into d6, which is disaster. Disaster. I'll put the knight here against my better judgment. But yeah, I don't actually like this line at all for black. Bishop e7. Looks very, basically, I have a long-term thing that I don't know, if we trade a few pieces and I get castled, maybe play g6, king g7, that I've got a strong-looking knight on f5. So let's offer the exchange there. I've got a strong-looking knight on f5, and you know, I can pressure some of the pawns. But overall, this is not a not a system I look forward to playing. Also, taking on d5 by him is often quite reasonable because I have to take with the c pawn. I can't take this way. Yeah, and speak of the devil, there it is. Got to take this way. And yeah, just basically doubling on the c file would not be crazy. So I'm thinking of taking here because maybe this pawn is something I can try to take advantage of. So I'm definitely going to take this this bishop on g5. think he has to take with the pawn, and he does so. And now I'm going to get castled. Try to bring this rook over the c file. Also maybe get g6 in. I mentioned earlier the pressure on d4, so I'm going to be trying to increase that. Why no b2? Yeah, I mean, I've been ignoring this pawn for the whole game. First of all, in this particular situation, it looks like I just lose my queen to rook b1, so that's a good reason not to grab it. But more generally speaking, I would say my king has been in the middle of the whole game. I don't want to get greedy. I think a lot of things can just go wrong in this position for black, so I have to be a little careful. Okay, so I'm going to bring the rook over. Let's go rook here. Favorite chess player of all time. Yours is Mikhail Tal. Mine is Warshep, legend then. Mine is Warshep. Yeah, definitely thinking about something like that, Loafs. Although I would maybe have some arguments for and against this. Basically, I'm not too proud of the knight there after the move g3, but if it's like for rerouting to c6, I get it. I would maybe like to play knight b8, c6, so maybe I should use my other rook so I could do that plan, but I thought I wanted my rook there so I could launch a5, a4 down the board. The other thing I might want to do is just rook c6, and if he takes, I take with my pawn, actually. Take with the pawn and go for this a pawn push. So I think that a5 is absolutely correct here. So we're going to push that, just tease the idea of a4. If he plays a4 himself, that knight, just the whole situation here gets a little more loose. I think I might go rook c6 actually in that position. And if he takes, again, I want to take with the pawn, open up the b file for business, and maybe think about a move like c5 in the future. Today's Sub Sunday, yes. Yes, we got a few things planned first, like this match. It's one of them. Knight h4. Okay, so definitely thinking that taking is the move. A4, there's no knight c5. So after a4, he is planning knight d2. And then the sort of big question is, can I just take on b2 or not? That's the question. I feel like the answer is yes. If I take right away, he goes rook b1. Well, I think first of all, I'm going to take this knight, so that is confirmed. So let's make the confirmed move. And now it's very hard for me to not play this move a4. So again, I'm going to go ahead with that. The other thing I could try to do is reroute my knight to g6 now. It makes a lot of sense, and maybe to e7 to f5. But the question is, do I want to do that, or can I just try to go for material here? I think it's an important decision. So if knight d2, I do not like playing rook takes, and then queen b2, because then after rook c7, I feel like he's all over my 7th rank there. Okay, he decides to take first. Interesting. Okay, well, this is very much a pawn that he's offering me on b2. I think it's possible that I have a very cute move here, rook c4, which he has to move the knight. I win the rook, and then if he takes, I take back, and I win this. I think that rook c4 is cute. So I have a little double attack there, and queen c8 at the end, right? I have knight f8 to block the check. And I honestly think this just wins a piece here. It's kind of a strange tactic. almost feels like it, shouldn't work like that. But yeah, I think that actually did just win a piece. Nice try. Nice try.
That was a, I would want to say a mouse slip. That was a brain slip. But thank you. Good game.
I figured that if you're gonna lose the knight anyway, may as well go for the attempt where I forget that your queen is hanging, because
yeah, thanks.
It's maybe worth a shot. But yeah, rook c4 is just winning a piece. Actually, it occurred to me that it's probably a strong move, but as I thought about it more and more, I was like, wait, this is actually just a full.
Yeah, no, I actually wanted to. I mean, I realized that I have to sacrifice the knight because anyway. All right, thank you. That was good. All right, I'm sending a rematch.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Let's get some music on here.
Yep. I'm taking my headphones off.
Just some background lounge. Okay, well, we can't play a match without trying the London at least once, right? So let's get our London game in, guys. We've been a good boy. We've been playing principled chess. We deserve to play the London once. Yay. London snoozer, Eddie. Really? Calling me a snoozer? Queen b6.
Okay.
So let's go queen b3. Let's go queen back. So bishop f5 is well, not really a thing because my rook's not trapped on a1. So there's no queen b2 shenanigans. e6. So I think as a London system player, you are extremely happy, number one, when you see e6, because it means the bishop's locked in. Number two, though, you're very happy because e6 and c4 is usually very good for white. So there's a couple ways to play. Number one would just be e4. I'm convinced e4 is actually a very strong move here. But b3 and just playing in the typical fashion, b3, knight there, bishop there is also really good. So both of those moves look extremely reasonable to me. I'm just going to go knight f3 and probably go for the b3 plan. Okay. I will go b3 now, just sooner rather than later. Taking with the queen makes a lot of sense. So does taking with the pawn. In my experience playing these positions, I usually take with the pawn, so I'm going to go like this. But I think queen b3 is very reasonable. Yeah, so I'm going to play bishop d3 and just look at the h7 pawn. After bishop d7, knight e5 can be considered, as well as simply castling. Okay, it goes h6. I'm happy to see that, mainly because it's gonna prompt me to play the move h3, and I like the fact that I get to secure my bishop while he plays this move, which maybe you could make an argument is not necessary. But anyways, I'm happy to see it. I'm going to castle. Okay, so he's really trying to get the bishop d6 exchange. That I understand now. That's what he's going for. I don't think I should be too upset with that. Don't think that should bother me too much. So I'm going to play the move b4, which is normally how you want to advance these pawns. I can't stress it enough that the move c4 is absolutely not what we want to go for at all. Black plays like a5, knight b4, and he gets all over those dark squares. So what I want to do is, well, I could take this, or I could just play b5 right away. I think I'm going to take it. And the idea is I want to play b5. This pawn is going to be fixed as a target on a7, and I think I have one of these two moves coming up. Knight e7. Don't think knight f5 or knight g6 are particularly intimidating moves. So I'm just going to take the time to get castled and probably follow up with c4 after something like bishop d7. Yeah, I think it's time for c4 here. Takes queen d5. I find rather hard to believe. So let's go. Knight takes. Queen d5. I have e4 as one move, which certainly looks good, and I'm sure there are other moves that work as well. But yeah, I was just thinking e4, plain and simple. Haven't looked at this too much. It's one of those moves that walks into this, and I think I just play knight e5. Queen takes, knight e5. I don't know. Queen gets chased around. Yeah, queen gets chased around here. Not winning any outright material, I think, but I think all the tempi that I'm going to pick up here should be invaluable. So let's go knight e5. Probably rook b1 next. I think he has to choose a square on the b file, which is kind of nice for me. Maybe I had a better knight move there. I didn't really think as long as I could have. It's also possible rook a5. Like I just simply didn't spend a lot of time on that position. I have a feeling that White's position is very strong, but rook a5 in hindsight with rook c5 does maybe look a little bit better. So it's possible I had a better move there. I still think knight e5 is pretty strong here. Queen b4, queen b6 are the only moves as far as I can see. He's not losing the bishop on d7, so yeah, he can play queen b6 pretty confidently. I think we go here. Hit the queen, probably rook takes b7 next. A7 will also hang after that. These two moves look like the only ones worth playing. And he's gone for queen d6. There are some tricks, like not really a trick, but like knight takes f7 and followed by e5 and taking on f6. Although for now, I think it's sort of important for me to even the even the pawns up a little bit. So let's take on b7. And if bishop c6, I think I just take on e7 and pick up that bishop, which I'll be happy with. Okay, he does it. I do think rook takes e7 is just the move here. I probably have other moves, like rook a6 certainly comes to mind, but it's very hard to refuse. Very hard to refuse rook takes on e7 here. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing something potentially even better. Like knight c6, he has to take. Yeah, so here's an example of where like I think I have a very good move, but I just have a better one. So this is a very good move. But knight c6, if queen takes, I win an entire piece. And knight c6, if knight takes, which seems forced to me, I play e5 and I pick up an entire piece. And that is better. There's no question. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. So I think that's an example of when you have a winning move, but just take that extra time, like go have some more winning than that. And I think this is that move. So yeah, if I go e5 here, I think I win the full thing, like a full piece. Always look for a better move, yeah. So after queen d5, there's a few moves to consider, like rook b5, etc., etc. I'm pretty convinced that just taking this is good enough, though. After queen d5, knight d4, I can just take back. Queen takes b7, and some sort of bishop h7 is sort of irrelevant to the line, but bishop e4, skewering the queen and the rook there, should work for me. My knight's covering my queen on d2, which might seem like a random thing for me to say right now, but okay. And this one, I think I just take there and take back. That should be pretty good. Just want to make sure. I can also take here, but no, there's no way that can be good. So let's go for this. It's going to be up a piece here. And I think it's actually pretty important that I hang on to this pawn. Although if he goes rook d8, I can take on a7 because I do have a checkmate threat on the back rank. And he's going to resign. That is a full piece. It is a full piece with a passed pawn. With a passed pawn.
Thanks, Aman.
Thanks, GG.
Yeah, I messed up that London in the beginning, so I needed to play bishop f5 first, so before playing c4.
Before playing c4, yeah. Or you can play c4 the way you did, and then I think the next move has to be g6. Try to play bishop f5 after as well. So there's two ways you can do it, but yeah, c4 and e6 don't work well together, I think, normally.
Yeah, no, with e6, I was already in a strategically lost position. All right, very good. You're close.
I know. Last two, one white and one black left.
All right, let's go.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, here.
I'm taking this off. All right.
Music back on. All right. So, I think I'm going to play my trademark b6 move. We'll see. We'll see if we can do this. e6. It's a good blitz opening in my opinion, but we are playing 5+2, so that is lots of time on the clock here for him to play against it. Let's go d5 right out of the gate here. Now, let's not blunder our queen or anything insane like that. What do we want to do here? Just knight e7, maybe c5. So many ways to play the position here. So I'm just gonna go knight e7, just see what line he wants to go for. a6, yeah, a6, and hope he makes like, you know, the worst move on the board that does not like defend the pawn or something. A6 unfortunately covers bishop a6, which I think is a move I'd like to get. Okay, well, he's gonna play that move. I'll just see if he wants to take it. First of all, he doesn't. That makes sense.
No, it's fine.
I'm gonna go queen d7, which is kind of normal to unpin. And also plan bishop a6 next. So yeah, I think I do want to play bishop a6 as my next move here. Knight c3. Okay. It's a bit of a different style. It's definitely expecting more of a c3 type of game. But knight c3. Bishop a6 still jumps out at me as a pretty decent move. C5, knight b5, looking for the d6 square. Is probably still playable for me, although I'm not sure I want to go for it. Let's trade off these light square bishops. Okay, so bishop a6. I'm trying to get rid of the light square bishops, obviously, but the reason I'd like to do so is that my bishop does not look totally impressive on the b7 to h1 diagonal. I'm happy to see the move queen e2 because after I take, I assume it's going to be queen takes, and then it's like, he's sort of wasted a move, right? Playing queen e2, queen takes d3. So I'm happy to see that, just for starters. I am looking at the move c5 again here. I'm liking the look of c5. I think I'm going to go for it. Knight b5. I will play knight f5, hitting the bishop and covering the d6 square. And otherwise, I do want to play knight c6, just put more pressure on d4. Why am I piling the pressure on d4? Well, because as I mentioned earlier, it was a little confusing me when he played the move knight c3. So I was expecting knight d2 and c3, solidifying the center. Because of that, he doesn't have the move c3 available. So I'm going to try to just go knight c6, pressure this pawn when I know it doesn't have a buddy to back him up there. Okay, he does go for knight b5. So first of all, c4, I think is already a reason that knight b5 is not the best. So I'm going to try to showcase that. But I think what happens here is I go knight f5. I hit his bishop on h4. He has to move the bishop, and then I go c4, and I win the knight on b5. So to me, that is just sort of double checking, but that is definitely. I think it's a piece, if I'm not mistaken. But I think it's a fairly forcing sequence. And if he goes knight d6, trying to maybe distract my knight and only lose a pawn, I think I take it. I still hit that bishop. And the move c4 is going to disconnect his queen and knight, the coordination for a bit. I don't see a way, unfortunately, for him. As I said, knight d6 is sort of covered by me for now, and this definitely looks like a knight I'm picking up here. Looks like a knight I'm picking up here. Yeah, there's just nothing here. That's going to be a full piece. That is going to be a full piece. And and g4 afterwards to hit my knight. It's not like it's trapped or anything. I can always come back to e7 after I take this. So like queen d2, queen takes, g4, not quite trapped, knight back to e7, and we're just up a piece from there.
That wasn't the smartest. Okay, so concentration. All right, I'm not gonna force you to play this. Yeah, I'm not gonna force you to play that. Sorry, that was just error of concentration on my part.
Sorry, what was that? I was just unmuting.
Yeah, no worries. It was an error of concentration on my part. Okay.
Yeah. Dropping a knight. I was lucky that this is one of my easiest games, and it's getting into the final two important ones. So I'll happily take it.
No, of course. Anyway, all right. Last game.
All right. Best of luck.
Thanks.
All right, guys.
I'm taking this off.
Music on here. Get the rematch in. Final game. 9-0. 9-0. So what did we do last time? We did the London. I've played a lot of King's Indians against him. Jerome, guys, this is a serious match. Please let me play my London and crush him. Okay, so what do we want to do? The last time we played the London, he actually went for d5, which is kind of surprising. I would expect him to go g6, bishop g7, and play a different kind of setup, but that wasn't what he went for there, which is interesting. Yeah, let's maybe go for c4 again, one of those King's Indians. Always a tough choice, but I feel like these are going to be good games to review. Just a whole bunch of King's Indians. It's a tricky opening, very double-edged. So we have the f3 one. I've actually, I think, repeated that. So in the interest of being as diverse as possible, let's play this bishop d3 line again. I'll go d5. I kind of liked how it turned out last time, so I'm happy to, well, even if he played differently, I think as I was explaining last time, my opening moves, they remained very constant in this line. Let's probably just castle. I mean, okay, bishop e3. It's sort of the order of the moves is not entirely important in this line, I would say. But yeah, I'll go bishop e3, let's say. Castle's next. What is this opening called? I'm not actually sure of the name, but I know that Alexander Morozevich, Russian Grandmaster, played this line, so I kind of call it the Morozevich. Let's castle. Yeah, bishop a6 was what he did last time. I'm not actually convinced this is a useful move. I play b3, solidify my structure, and it feels to me like the bishop is more useful actually on this diagonal. And as you guys know, my sort of next couple of moves, queen d2 I want to do. This pawn is defended. Maybe I think about a3, b4, but that's sort of a move or a series of moves that loosens my position up, and I'm not necessarily super keen on playing it. Okay, let's go queen d2. This is, again, the normal type of reaction. We want to get that f4 move after f5 and taking. Yeah, that's what mychess.com says, Tommy. Chess.com says King's Indian defense, normal variation. Yes, guys, we're playing the normal. Welcome to the normal variation. Oh my goodness. Holy smokes, that is a insane raid. 3,343 people. Oh my God, welcome. The Viper. The Viper. Thank you, man. We actually we're actually just finishing a match here. Thanks a lot though. Holy smokes. I'm trying to win 10 games in a row against Nikola here, who's a 1950. Is a very good rating in chess. After this, I'm going to sort of stick with my plan from last game, go bishop d4. So thanks again. Holy smokes, the Viper. Huge raid. We are just finishing a match here. Like I said, I'm supposed to win 10-0. That's the challenge. 10-0 is the challenge here. Rook f7, so we're doing this again. I still think I want to reroute my knight the way I did last time. So let's do that. And the games are 5 minutes each with 2 seconds every move. Turn up the music. This is my slower part of the stream, slightly educational. We don't do too much of this. So just trying to keep the music tame for now, but that is a big boy raid there from the Viper. Age of Empires, pretty much best Age of Empires player in the world. Thanks for the raid, man. Super appreciated. Just trying to maintain a little focus here. I'm in my last game here, trying to make sure I don't choke this out. In the 10th game, I've already got 9-0. I got to go for 10. The Age of Empires is some of the guys in the Age of Empires category are really into chess. So I know that you guys were saying Vipe. He went 1-1 in chess today. That's cool. I didn't know that necessarily that they all played, but I know there is a contingent. I know there is a contingent. Let's take this with the knight here. The boys in the Age of Empires category are getting into chess, playing some games. Love to see it. And it's actually been vice versa as well. We're getting into Age of Empires, and we have been playing it a lot. Seriously.
Oh, we just got another raid.
Oh my goodness, Charlotte Chess Center, 205 people. Oh man, I see what's going on. I'm getting raided into oblivion. Thank you so much, everybody. We did a 3K viewer raid from the Viper, 200 from Charlotte Chess Center. My focus is being tested, my resolve. Let's go knight e3. I am still threatening. Knight takes f5 if queen h4. Well, I'm threatening knight f5 anyway, but it stops queen h4. Hitting that pawn, and again, this queen move is going to be tough to handle. Yeah, trying to stay focused here, guys. Give me a sec. I do appreciate the raids though a lot. Let's put the rook here, I think. And then queen h4, we go queen f2. I'm assuming. Queen h4, queen f2. Seems okay. And then I can play maybe king h2. And eventually I'm trying to evict that knight from the g3 square. So something like knight e2 is really what I want to go for to knight e2 to get that knight out of there. So yeah, king h2, queen f2, but queen f2 first to guard my pawn there is what I'm thinking. Knight e2, knight f1 are all moves to kick this knight out. All right, we're a little bit up on time here. This is our last game. We got a sub battle coming up after this, guys. So I'm glad there's so many people here because you guys will get to see a sub battle, which I think is a very, very fun format. I think you guys are going to like it. So stay tuned for that. Knight f5 for exchanging. The problem is I actually end up losing a piece there. Knight takes f5. He covers his own queen. So although he is kind of pinned here, that doesn't quite work out for me. Okay, so I'm thinking of knight f1 here to go for some exchanges. think I'm going to make this decision relatively quickly. Yeah, let's go here. What I want to do is I want to take, if he takes with the rook, I go knight e2, and I don't think that he has a square for that rook. I am seeing, so I think we take it. Knight e2, I'm actually noticing might not work. So I'm actually not planning to play that if he played rook there. I was going to go rook e3. He takes with the queen. Makes sense. I am planning to take that. King f2, rook over ideas, but I think I might start with knight e2. I might start with knight e2. I don't want to go like this, and then e3 comes in, right? So let's kick the rook first, then king f2 and g3, and try to go real solid there. And I'm basically saying, like, once I consolidate, I'm pretty confident going forward. This rook doesn't have anywhere to go here, so I am expecting it to go over to g6. g7 he goes for. Here, I have king f3, so let's go for this. And I want to play g3 next. Or rather, I should say rook g1, probably a little better. g3, just knight d3 is super, super strong. Hits my knight, and then my g-pawn is hanging. So I think I have the type of position, guys, that if I can hang on these next couple moves, I am confident going forward, but these next couple moves are going to be really tricky. Yeah, so he goes there. I'm going to play my king f3 move I was planning. Bishop there does threaten to go bishop h5, but I think I can get in g4, or bishop takes f5 for that matter, excuse me. Bishop f5 is just much better. Okay, he's trying to open things up. That makes a lot of sense. Let's just go g3, so I'm not worried about that pawn anymore. I think that's an important step. Trying to keep this diagonal closed. Now I want to think about maybe picking up that e-pawn. Let's go knight d4, hit the bishop and that pawn. Now let's take the pawn, take back with the knight. I'm even attacking this pawn here as well. Rook f7, I have knight h6. d6 is also hanging, which is why he's gone to defend that. And now I'm going to pick this pawn up with my rook. I have g4 as well to solidify, but knight on f5 is so strong. And we did it. Oof. Stress. Hey, Nikola. I have you. I think you're just muted on Zoom there yourself, so I can't hear you. Here we go. Oof.
Hey guys, all right. Well, I'm gonna be very frank. Obviously, nobody wants to get adopted, but this was a very hard-fought match. I fought, and I think I put up a pretty good resistance. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I think you definitely did. And it's easy to say that maybe afterwards, but during the match, I think it's very clear there were two matches where I wasn't even just like fighting or you had equality. It's like you were definitely winning those games, and it came down to conversions. So I think you did very well.
Thank you. That's very greatly appreciated, and Aman, thank you for agreeing to on doing this. The purpose of this match is very frankly for me to learn and to improve in chess, and I can only I'm going to use this as my excuse, if you want. Garry Kasparov didn't become Garry Kasparov until he was half adopted by Anatoly Karpov. There were plenty of draws, but there was at some point 5-0 for.
So if he became if he became Gary Kasparov with a half adoption, you're going for the full adoption, looking to double the ability. I got it.
Thank you. But I kind of expected this result. Very frankly, I'm pretty happy with the way I played. And thank you, Aman, for doing this. I'm actually gonna stay streaming a little bit for the purpose. I'm going to analyze a little bit of the games on the stream while they're fresh with some of my viewers. And
that's a good idea.
Thank you. All I can say is I hope for a rematch in a year's time, and hope for a better result. But we'll see.
Well, it could only be a better result because I'm going to be getting worse over that time, and you're going to be getting stronger. So, and look at that, $250 from Nikola there in the chat. So. Big shout out to Nikola! !Nikola is his channel, guys. So check him out. He's gonna be taking a look at the matches. I hope they're useful. I was definitely pretty conscious about trying to play a bunch of different lines, so that
thank you.
I figured you would be taking a look at them. So yeah, hopefully they'll be useful. And appreciate you putting this together, Nikola. You don't just play me. You played Chiyu. Has it been 2 weeks so far since the show started? So to speak?
Yes, I managed to adopt. Against Chiyu, I drew the very first game, and then we did a second try, and I won the game 7.
Yep.
So I managed to get adopted twice. Next week, I'm playing Dina Belenkaya. I owe her a match. Thank you, Gabe, for followers. Thank you to the viewer. I owe her a match. Because Maria Yamilanova were trolling her, and then after that I am playing Alessia, and after Alessia we are I think I'm playing Alexandra Bottas, so we'll see how that goes.
You got some well, maybe I'd like to say that my games could be the stepping stone for you to just defend adoption against all the girls on Twitch, it sounds like.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you for saying it, and thank you for doing this again. I am gonna stay streaming for a little bit. There are a couple of games I really want to analyze. And Aman, again, thank you very much. And I presume you're gonna continue streaming as well.
Yeah, we actually have a sub battle that we're going to be doing against Blitz Stream. So that's what we're doing next, guys. But again, thanks for the $250 bounty put up by Nikola, and thanks for the games. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I learned the last week that after matches like this, I'm not exactly in a shape to play in sub battles. So good luck.
Yes, we did
stream.
Test that
Please win. Anyway,
thank you. Take care, Nikola. See you around.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right. All right, guys, just stay with me for a little bit. I'm ending the meeting, and I am gonna change my layout to this. So just bear with me for a second. And first of all, thank you everybody for staying. I am pretty sure that I had at least 2 games in that was, clearly winning. So let's see if I can just get my camera going. So just bear with me for a second. Yeah, join with computer audio. Hey, Timey Remembered, thank you for the follow. Just bear with me for 1 second. We're gonna get rid of this. And we're gonna get rid of the, oops, let's see, blah. All right, so this is now, no, we don't want that. All right. So I think first let me say a couple of things. One of the very good benefits of doing this match is that I managed to learn a new opening. Hold on. No, I don't want to do that. Let's get this done. Just bear with me for 1 second, guys. Sorry. All right. So there is one game that I'm pretty sure I was winning until the very end. All right. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time doing this, so just bear with me. So first and foremost, thank you everybody. I completely understand that there was a big crowd favorite in this match. That's very nice of everybody to hear from everybody. And that's also very greatly appreciated. I'm sorry I didn't manage not to get adopted, but I'm pretty sure it came fairly close in at least two games. So I want to just take a quick look at those games. So just bear with me, and I'm not Aman Hambleton. So let's see here. We're gonna move this, and let's see, what is it that I missed? Let's say there is no way in the universe I can adopt you. Let's be honest. You are an Italian. You're an Italian champion, and you're a current Italian vice champion. So no way. All right. So let me start here. I want to analyze. Basically, there was one game that I felt pretty good about. This is the one, and I am actually gonna use I'm gonna adjust this so you guys actually can see the analysis board. I want to see what is it that I messed up in this particular position, because I was under the distinct impression that my attack was winning here, and I let this game slip from my hands, which is slightly annoying. All right, so one more, and there we are. Okay. Now we don't need to worry about this, and you guys know who I played. Okay. So all right, so let's see here. The chess.com engine was there, and I think yeah, thanks Sepper, I'm gonna show you one of the King's Indian games. I'm just waiting for this chess.com engine to finish running. I'm gonna be very frank with you guys. I'm not happy with the result, but I'm not terribly unhappy with the way I played in this match. I was actually although I managed to avoid being adopted twice against Chiu last week, I wasn't very happy the way I played. I'm happier with the way I played this time around. So, I'm not gonna begrudge this to myself, and somebody tells me why this engine takes so much forever too long. Famous wizard, that's a very good question. My plan is to basically improve in chess. I stopped playing competitive chess about 35 years ago, and I would like to go as far as I can possibly do this. And yes, I was on the top of my game in the last 3 games. That is absolutely true, Chess Noob. That is correct. I was though the last 3 games were not my best. All right, so will this ever finish? I'm not gonna wait for this, so let's just look for this. We played, and come on, chess.com. Let me see. I'm gonna lower the evaluation. So, or let me see here, where is this? And I'm going to lower the depth. So it's 20. So we can actually see the report, and let it finish running. Hey Lila, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Yes, I was not blundering that night wasn't exactly planned. Now, my standard defense against this French bishop b4 Vinavre French is to basically take on b4, And, bishop d3 is a standard move. I'm really not begrudging myself any of these moves. That's a standard theory. I'm pretty familiar with these. And, I'm not sure I like this bishop f5. I wanted to play a reasonably safe game. Okay, I should have probably played knight f4. And the idea of this variation is to basically put the knight on e2 and push c3. So I did that quite well. And Aman castled long, which I'm not surprised is inaccuracy. And then I started attacking, which is, probably at this position I'm definitely better. And, keeping up the attack was, we can see that my position is improving. And bishop e5, I wondered about this move as I was playing it. I really wasn't sure about it. I should have played bishop g3. Because the difference between playing bishop g3 and bishop e5 was that I basically allowed bishop g6 and that this bishop to disappear. So I should have included that into my calculation. All right, so queen e6 is actually not a good move. According to the computer, it was supposed to be queen f5, which would have been stronger. Okay. And queen b1, I could have played b6 immediately. All right. Knight g6, and that's basically why I shouldn't have played bishop e5, but I'm still better. And okay, computer doesn't like b6. All right, I'm going to have to spend more time analyzing this. Takes, a6. And rook a6 was probably very close to winning. Knight e5, queen d5. And so I am a plus 2.20 here. And what exactly did I mess this up? c4, I could have played rook b5 and potentially take this pawn. Okay. And queen e5, and I should have played g3 and kept this going. All right. But I should have drawn this endgame. I'm actually better in this endgame. Why on earth I let myself lose this? Is rook a3. Ah, gotcha. So I can defend this with, okay, so that was an error. And h4 was better. And here the game starts slipping from my hands. I shouldn't have exchanged the rooks. You see, I was under the impression that if I take these two pawns, I could be able to hold. And basically this is where I lost the game. I lost the game right here because, and I had enough time to make. So that was the error. Okay, and yeah, and I should have played king f2. At this point, this is a lost endgame, and yeah, I shouldn't have gone into this endgame, and this last tactics were just bad. Okay, so all right, so basically I stopped winning. I really needed to keep this bishop around, because if this bishop was on g3, I'm pretty sure this, the whole series of moves there wouldn't have been possible. And then I'm not begrudging myself rook h6 sacrifice, but really I should be learning how to win these endgames against strong opposition. All right, so that was my one chance to draw this. All right, so that's one missed game. Hey, Lally, yes, I am, yep, thank you, Lally, that's actually exactly right advice. And, I am going to just make one statement that some of you probably heard, and, I hope this, my discussing my progress in chess is, interesting for someone. The I had kind of a eureka moment when I played Handing Brain against Talia and Kimi Liu on Tuesday. Basically, I won that game, and it was not even close. I think at the end it was bishop. I had a piece and a pawn up, and Kimi was resigning because she was losing a bishop, and it occurred to me that it really didn't see that bishop, how she loses that bishop. So I think what I need to focus my studies is to study yes, Chess Lover, it's exactly right. Please, that by the way, that was a fabulous game. That was so well played, and I'm on both sides. No worries. For the record, you ladies won that game. Anyway, I think one of the reasons I'm slow is I need to improve my library of motives when I play. And that's basically the next step in my, if you want, chess development. In other words, everybody says tactics, and, there we go. Yes. Thank you, Dirk. Pattern recognition. That's exactly right. Okay, so So this was, I think, my best game in the match, and I honestly don't think I played badly in the match. There were at least few games that were pretty equal until the very end. And let me see. I'm gonna show you one more game. And let's be honest, if Aman is, 99, that wasn't my very best game. But, the very first game, I don't think I think I actually want to see this game, the very first game that we played, because I was pretty positive that I was winning that game at the very beginning of our match. Let me look at it real quick. So, yeah. All right. Hey, Chesbra, thanks. It was thank you for organizing that. Thank you, Aman, to Aman for agreeing to do this. I'm actually very happy with the way which went, which might sound silly for someone who lost 10-0, but I think I had my chances. And let's see here. This is the very first game we played, and I have a mission to make. I didn't expect Aman to play Sicilian, so I was a little bit unprepared for this. But, I don't think I handled the opening badly. Hold on. And, this is all common. And, Queen D2, this is not, the best strategy, but it's fine. And Rook C8 is a blunder. And apparently what I should have done here, there is this motive to take on B8. And here is a full disclosure. In other words, I should have taken on B5. And you know what? I thought about it as I was playing the game. But then I said, you know what? It's a little bit too early to do it. And let me see. Takes, Queen D8. I had Bishop B6. That's crushing. Okay. So that's what I missed. Okay. I had this opportunity in another game I played against Aman. All right, so that wasn't played. What was played is castle. Then I played E5. Then knight D4, takes on D4, knight D7, and here is bishop B5. Okay, so that was okay. Let's take a look back at that line. So after B5, Queen D2, the castles, Rook C8. So let's see. So knight DB5 takes on B5, takes on B5. queen d8, bishop on b6, queen d8, and then you can... I think computer wants to play e5, which actually is a natural move. And what Eric was saying is basically that bishop c5 is probably, it's actually as strong. Well, guess what? This would have been an easy draw. Because Aman wouldn't have any chance but to play queen d8 and bishop b6 and queen e8. And okay, well, days when, yeah, it would have been a draw. Thanks. All right, but computer likes to play e5. Okay. Well, I have to admit, there is a pang of regret here for not seeing this. Because if I've seen this, that would have been a very first game defeat of an adoption like last Monday. But you know what? All right, I didn't see it. I need to learn to start seeing that stuff. And the funny thing is, I thought about it, but I didn't see this bishop b6 motive, and that's why I didn't play it. Okay. Well, I had a winning position afterwards. I think this knight d7 was a pretty brave move. And knight bishop b5 was played, bishop d5, and why on earth, and here I'm starting to mess. I am found the right sacrifice, but here I am not following up. And this all of a sudden, okay, Aman actually gave me a few chances, and this was, I guess, an okay game. All right, and blah blah. This doesn't matter. This was already lost. I'm a pawn down. I probably should have played rook g1 after bishop g2, or played rook d2 and would have been stronger. Okay. But, okay, at least I saw bishop takes on b5. I assumed that an extra pawn would have been enough to save the game and draw the game. My error. Okay. Yeah, thanks, Dirk. Yeah, that's kind. But, all right. I am not begrudging myself that game. Let's see what other game are worth watching. So that was the very first game. The second game is I don't think it makes sense. I actually want to show you guys one of the King's Indian games. I'm just trying to decide which one I want to see, and I think this is probably, oh no, that's not the one. And I kind of want to explain what I was thinking. I might as well show the very first King's Indian game, which I think is this one. I had, and because this involved a little bit of preparation, I'm sorry. As you can imagine, my adrenaline I'm kind of on the verge of crashing. So let me see. It's showed this. Yeah, this is the game I want to see. So we played, this is King's Indian, and I have to make an admission, and this is one of the huge benefits of me playing this match, very frankly. Oh yeah, okay, so according to the computer, my accuracy was 96.2. Okay, I don't necessarily care, but that's pretty damn good. My main repertoire, Joel Rubs, is to play e5, and I will... I play e5, I play lots of martial attack and so on. And yeah, Chesbra, I actually like the time control because this is not the longest of time controls. And I have to make an admission. I played lots of games against Aman, and I kind of had a feeling that I was winning at least 2 games, and there were at least a couple of games in which I was in the game until very far. So I am, in pretty good I'm fairly happy with my play. So okay, so here is the thing. This is a variation I prepared, and I think I had trouble playing against Samish variation of King's Indian, and I think I found this variation that's basically knight c6, and yeah, Yol Rabs, thank you. It's very, very kind of you. As a matter of fact, there are games against Danya in which, I had 98.5 accuracy and he had 99.6. And of course I lost the game. So yeah, I mean, I'll take that. I'll take 96.2 accuracy any day. So this motive with knight e5 and b5 is actually fairly tricky, and I think I like the resultant positions. Here a bishop a6 is actually not the right move. So the problem problem here is, while I have acquire this variation, this only really happened over Friday and Saturday, so I don't have yet game experience playing this against Samish. So I'm gonna have to play some games to get better there. All right, queen b4 is the best, knight b7 is normal, c5, d5 is actually not a good move, knight c7, and yeah, and I shouldn't have played c4. I was kind of hoping that I would be able to exchange this knight, and I basically blundered the bishop. So this was, this tells you how these accuracy predictions are misleading. This actually is not a very good game to show. Let me find one more and then let's go from there. Let's see. Yeah, let's see this. Okay. Let me see. What is the other King's Indian? That's the first game we played that we already showed. This is the first King's Indian game. Let me show you this. And anyway. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so this is basically 91 and it's the same variation, so I need to gain some experience. Hey Everettville, thank you for gifting a tier 1 sub to the chess lover. b4, and yeah, actually I'm showing you the same game twice, am I bad? Okay, so let me see. There was one more game where that was pretty damn good. Anyway, so I don't want to keep you guys while I'm looking for this. I'm probably going to do a little bit of analysis, and I'm going to look into my variations of King's Indian. Bottom line, I kind of have solved my problem with Samish. I think I'm pretty sure I will be able to. Okay, I'm going to show this game, and because this is a game in which I flagged in a position that was very interesting. Thanks, Everettville. I don't think that's true, but thank you for the gifted sub. All right, so this is actually not a very good game according to the computer, but if you look closer, I had a pretty good position very far into the game. And interesting thing is that basically Aman stopped playing this bishop e3 and knight e2 variation after a couple of games, which actually was to my advantage because we here transferred to classical kid. And let's see here. So we are here within. Okay, so I actually think I have taken this and knight queen h4, this and this. So I've kind of felt that I had a pretty good position somewhere around here, and that I should have played king h8 before. Okay. And yeah, all right. Hey, Illustrak, thank you for the follow. G3 is a blunder, so what should have I played here? All right, king f8 is fine. And rook g1, rook g3, knight e2, and I should have played rook g6. Somebody sometimes somewhere explained to me computer logic. Okay, so this was basically an equal position according to the computer. All right, and here knight d3, and very honestly, knight d3 was, I was down to 7 seconds. Okay, so if I were to pick games that should have gone my way, there were at least, actually there were 3 of them, 2 of them with white, and this one that I could have defeated adoption. And yeah, I'm lost here. This was basically garbage time because there is no. Okay, all right. Well, bottom line, many times, and thank you guys for staying with me. You know, I'm as happy as this match as somebody who can get adopted can feel. I think I played reasonably well. Thank you, Chestnut KZ. That's very nice of you. There were at least 3 games that, you know, and you see how this actually improves as computer thinks more, in which I had equal or a better position well into the end game, well into deep into middle game, which is very good for somebody who is 1950 playing about somebody who is basically 600 points ahead. I have to say one thing. I'm not happy with the result. I'm happy with the play. I am going to do this again with, you know, with the. I'm looking forward to playing against Dina Belenkaya next time, and that's next Sunday. And very frankly, I can, you know, as Kasparov benefited from his matches with Karpov, I think I can only benefit by playing much stronger players than me. I think I acquired a new opening in the process. I'm still not as familiar as I would like to be, but I can see this being incredibly useful. So again, thank you, Aman. Eric, thank you for staying here with us. That's very good. Very good to know. I have my next stream is my best losses, and I'm probably going to do an in-depth analysis of a couple of these games. I am also have my Nikola Lawrence chess with Anna Rudolph is continuing on Wednesdays. That's on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. New York time. And next week, it's Dina Belenkaya, and I genuinely hope not to, you know, try my best not to get adopted. Anyway, guys, thank you again. Chess Lover, I am... thank you for the suggestions, and I'm looking forward to the next game. And next thing, I think it's only fitting that I raid Chessbra. And yes, if Eric is more than welcome to, if I would be ecstatic to play Eric in under the same odds. So, bye, Alessia. You and I have we're gonna face each other in 2 weeks, and we'll go from there. Please give a huge shout out to Alessia Santeramo. By the way, it was Alessia defeated was it yesterday? Defeated on Friday in a blitz match the 5-time Italian champion. Bye, Manamaya. And no worry, I'm not analyzing that great game we played this morning, you, me, and Lila. No worries. And here is a big shout out to Alessia. And please give a shout out to Anamaya, who is a great friend and a great streamer. Oops, and it would be good if I knew how to type. Thank you guys for staying. This was a great stream, and thank you guys staying there. And I'm sending you to Chessbra. They are playing chess. I think they're playing a sub battle against Blindstream. So give them a shout, give them a follow. And let's see, Chessbra. There we go. And thank you, Eric, for stopping by. I know this is very early for you. Bye, guys. Thank you again. All right, in 5 seconds. Thank you, Alessia. Thank you, Chess Noob. Thank you, guys. Sepper, it's good to see you again, my friend. Raid is on its way. Bye, Lila. Great game this morning. It was fun. Bye.